Trained with me for 2 years and this is what happened. For once I want to make a video not around me or my physique, or more taking a method of bodybuilding or fitness and doing that on someone else, like an experiment. It was almost accidental, but let me tell you exactly how it happened, and this story is gonna contain a instruction manual to attain this physique, the physique that my friend did. Blue, come here, come here. Come here. Let's do it with Blue with us. Okay, so Taps. Little background story how we met is that 2 years ago I was in a relationship and the person I was dating at the time helped me film and everything, but we were going through a breakup. And at the time, Taps had watched my videos. This is my friend who was interested in bodybuilding and he had no idea of direction. So as I transitioned into being alone, I needed someone to help me. So I told him, yo, if you film for me, I'll train for you. And basically, I gave him all my philosophies of training and he was my training partner for 2 years. And we still train together. You've seen him in videos. A little bit of background. Now, Taps has a very ectomorph physique, a very slender physique, a very low body fat type physique. It is difficult for him to attain muscle mass, right? Because of his diet, he doesn't want to eat too much. However, I couldn't really focus on that with him. However, I told him just train with me and we're going to do what's best. Now let's talk about the training over the past 2 years. Over the past 2 years, Taps has been using my program, Project Diamonds. Every year I develop it and he has really been the test dummy as well as myself in terms of how this program goes, how he feels using it. Is it at a beginner level, intermediate, or is it advanced? Cool. So as I put him through Project Diamonds, which is a push-pull legs program, the training that we underwent was one that was focused on the compound movements, and that is the bench press, the shoulder press, the squats, and the deadlifts. So in every single program on each push, pull, or legs day, this was one of the first workouts that we did, and I forced him to have proper form. I taught him proper form from the get-go, and he was comfortable with knowing how to do the form, because it's super important. If you're not doing it properly, if you're not targeting your muscles properly, it's a waste of time. So he got his form down, and after he knew the basics of each one of those single movements, he could then focus on his strength. Now as we progressed in terms of the workouts, example for push, we'd focus on his bench press or his dumbbell bench press. I prefer the dumbbells because it's more free weights and you activate more muscles because there's more of those movement muscles that you need, stabilizing muscles, which is important. After we'd focus on the compounds, we'd go on to more of the bodybuilding physique workouts that would allow you to build a more aesthetic physique with the rep range between 8 and 10, enough to keep your heart rate up and at the same time targeting all angles of your muscles. Some people don't like training like that, but using this in terms of Project Diamonds has been amazing for him. He then developed his deadlift, for example. He developed his shoulder press, and from there he would do between 8 and 10 exercises within the range of 4 sets between 6 to 10 reps. They were always very high repped. We never had workouts that were low repped. And then in terms of the compounds, which we also did, so whenever we're doing the bench press, the deadlift, the shoulder press, and the squat, why these workouts are so emphasized is because it activates more than one muscle. That's where the definition of compound came. So what we did was something called reverse pyramid training. And when we started every workout, example for the bench press or example for the deadlift, would start with 6 reps. We'd warm up, right? So we'd do deadlift, say, without anything on the weight. We would focus on form. Maybe we'd put some 10 kilograms on each side and make sure his form is correct. And then we'd start with reverse pyramid training. So on a deadlift, you would start with 6 reps. And every single workout or every single week as we progressed, I would force him to try a new weight. If his form wasn't cracking under pressure or if he wasn't losing form, I would encourage him to do new weights, right? So what we did, it started 6 reps for the first set, 8 reps for the second rep, 10 reps, and then 12. And that's the same reverse pyramid style we did for the bench press, the deadlift, the squats, and so on. After we finish that exhausting compound workout, starting with the heaviest to the lightest, we then move on to the more accessory bodybuilding movements, and this allowed his physique to progress even more. Now, in terms of the training that he did, the idea with taps over the time, he's almost caught up to me on the deadlift. He's not there yet with the bench press, with the squats, because I just believe genetically I've always had bigger legs, and I'm able to put more strain on my legs compared to what he is. But the bench press, he's also almost caught up to me, and as well with the deadlifts. As you guys are seeing, I'm putting some videos that we've recorded over the time, right? So in terms of his training over the 2 years, he was achieving progressive overload, and that allows his body, you keep on putting your body under that particular stress and your body's gonna respond. I think that reason why Taps had such amazing results as well is because he had guidance from the get-go. So have you ever used the term beginner gains? Taps was achieving that from the get-go. All the expressions of all the hormones that allow you, the growth hormones that allow you for bodybuilding that you normally get in your first 2 years, he was utilizing them to his maximum potential in terms of his training style and in terms of his form. So it was amazing to see Taps every single week. I'll show him, you'll see his stretch marks and stuff. Every single week he was growing, and people were noticing and other people were noticing, and that was in terms of his training style. So we're doing push-pull legs, repeat, and then 1 day off, and we did this for 2 years. The times he would get a bit smaller is when we went our separate ways during holidays, but he came back. It took him back about a month or so to look the way he did again, and he's almost at that level where his physique is one that I'd always dreamed of. It was amazing to see someone achieve what he has in 2 years, which took me about 4 years, and that just comes with knowledge. And then in terms of his diet, now what I could never control Taps with was his diet, but what's lucky for him, he could burn calories. He burns calories much more easily than I have. Taps can go out and have sushi with me the one night. I'll come back home bloated and very watery the next day, and Taps will look just fine, and that's why he was so benefited with his diet. However, now that 2 years has passed, where Taps is failing is that his hormones aren't on his side as much as they were in terms of his beginner gains, because now he needs to eat. Now he needs to track his calories. So I've always said, for you to get to the next level of your physique, you need to want to do something different that you've never done before that requires more concentration. So that's Tap's current problem, is eating the calories he needs to grow, but he's always had that very, very lean physique, and now he's just slowly building on top of it. He never did any big bulking phase and cutting phase, but he enjoyed the process. He ate as healthy as he could, so he was sticking to his beans, his whole grains, his rice. He was sticking to the chicken breast. He was making sure he was consuming enough proteins. And when I was sponsored or during my sponsors, whatever I had, I gave to him. If I had extra tubs of protein, I'd give to him, and he would utilize them to his benefit. So that is what Taps has had in terms of his diet. So one, I know a lot of people will probably comment, you should have done an upper body, lower body split or full body split in the beginning. Guys, you can never determine life like that. You can never be perfect the way it was. It was convenient for him to train with me from the get-go, and I think a very big driving force is that he had someone to push him in terms of a training partner. I've always realized if you're training with someone who's bigger than you, you will achieve better results. And in terms of his diet, I guided him in the right direction. I said, yo, eat these foods. He's always the person, by the way, who's recording and helping me record my videos. So he has very good knowledge of the foods that I eat. He might not know specifically about every single macro, but he sees all the foods that I eat. And obviously he'll do the same shopping and he'll eat whatever he feels like eating at the moment. So that is what happened after 2 years with training with a friend, having a training partner. So I think one, the knowledge and his form of training and the intensity he trained at for 2 years, utilizing his beginner gains was epic for him. Number 2 was at least knowing what foods were beneficial. You didn't have to be specific in terms of tracking calories every single minute, but he was very focused. He knew what direction he should be, and he wasn't eating KFC or Burger King every day, but he was eating good foods for him in majority, not tracking calories. And number 3, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I promise you, having a training partner who can push you, me, was beneficial for him in those 2 years. Now we're moving on to the next phase, using Project Diamonds, my training program, linked in the description. Not that this is a promotion for that, but that is exactly what I did use on him for him to grow. So with you guys, have a structured program. If you're a newbie, have a structured program. Get as much knowledge as you can. Search videos before you start. Know what you're doing, because when you start training and you fall in love with the process, how far you go with your physique is completely up to you. I don't know how far this video is, but if you guys want more of how the story went about, smash the video with a thumbs up. This has been more a video because it's raining outside. I want to produce a video for you guys, so this is what I'm coming up with right here. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you're new, subscribe. I can go into more detail in terms of posting the workouts and the structure and everything, graphs and whatever, so smash the video with a thumbs up if you want that. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.